One thing, it sounds dead nerdy, but one thing that really I like is maths.
One of the things I really enjoy doing is going to charity shops.
Gaming used to be a big part of my life, but it's changed recently for these reasons. One, because I've got my driver's license and I can go out a lot more. And another reason because I've turned 18, so I go to pubs or town a lot more than staying in and gaming.
Well, I would much rather, be outdoors watching the sunrise or sunset.
I use my iPhone for everything, and on a school day I use it for about 8 hours, and on a weekend when I'm at home I use it for about 12.
I know it's bad how much time I spend on my phone, so it's 12 to 13 hours when I'm not working.
Personally, I feel that I do spend too much time on my smartphone, and even though I know I shouldn't be doing it, it's really addictive.
Very easily, so you could have, really quickly you could have 200 friends, but I kind of feel like it takes away the genuine friendships that you form when you have, physical and human interactions with somebody.
I think it's hard to get people to know people in the real world now, because if you're on social media, you tend to hide themselves more, whereas face to face you can really see what the person's like.
But I feel like social media can be a good way to maintain a friendship if you've met the person face to face.
I would say there's more room for conflicts, via the use of social media, because when you send a message to somebody, there's no tone of voice, you can't detect sarcasm, you can't tell if they're telling a joke, you've got no idea what kind of mood the person that's reading the message is in, so essentially there's massive margin and room for misinterpretation.
I think it's easier for people to bully on social media because people are behind a screen.
So for me, talking to my mates, on the group chat, on Facebook Messenger and stuff, can be really useful because, if you have a question about anything, it can be something big like university, you can just always ask them and it's just quick and you normally get a quick response.
I have a iMessage group chat with about 5 or 6 other girls from Instagram who have big accounts, and it's useful to have because we can discuss the type of companies that are that have contacted us and whether they pay or not, or whether they're credible, and it's also sort of like a bit of a support when you do get a hateful comment, and you can send them a screenshot or tell them the account that has said the comment, and they've got your back a little bit because they know what it's like more.
I also don't feel certain pressure to follow people back who I'm not that close with, because my Twitter is open, but I keep it very aimed at my friends.
Instagram me is not being the real me, it's a bit more polished, a bit more glamorous and a bit more showy off as well.
Going to university and having people that I'm talking to that are on my course and in my flats and stuff, people asking each other, what's your Instagram and stuff, it's made me kind of go through my feed and see photos from a few years ago and be like, oh, maybe I should delete that embarrassing picture from 2012 and me looking a bit weird.
It's sort of the online space where I can be most like the real me, so it's a bit more unpolished, it's a bit more, I can post exactly what I want. More of my friends interact with me on it a lot more, so it's not as exposed to the massive audience that I have on Instagram. It's a bit different, it's like downtime.
On Instagram, people make it out like they don't really care about their likes and followers and stuff like that, but to be honest, deep down you really do. If you post a photo and it gets say 40 likes, which seems quite a lot, but then you're used to getting 80 likes or something, you kind of want to delete the photo. Like you feel ashamed of that being on your wall.
I like to use Instagram, and I keep an eye on like what time I post it, so I post it at certain times and who's using it. I carefully choose when to post my photos, so between 10 and half 10 at night when people are going to bed, and between 11 and 12 when people are just waking up on a weekday.
It's not about the likes and it's not about the followers, but you know, it's actually people are very bothered about that.
If I haven't got 11 likes in 5 minutes, then I delete the photo.
Everything I do has to benefit me, so I won't click on an advert if it doesn't interest me.
A lot of people I know these days have moved away from Facebook because there's people posting boring, pointless stuff on it all the time, and also your mum, your dad, your grandma, everyone's on Facebook, and it's just a bit embarrassing.
For me, Instagram has definitely opened creative doors.
I have a friend called Lola who lives down south who I met on holiday, and we used to have to send letters to each other, but as we've got older we've been able to like Snapchat and keep in contact, and it's easier.
Now I do art subjects, and I use things like Pinterest to help give advice, and I also find different events on the internet, and it helps me find different art shows and different things to go to. But Pinterest is a big thing in art.
You know, if you've got a tough essay to write, or you know, something you need to study on, the internet's the first place anybody will go to.
Absolutely.
And there's everything at your fingertips. So you literally could see an essay that's been written on the subject you need to write an essay on, and get like a good idea of what you need to do to pass.
When I was like doing my A-levels, revising for my A-levels, that sometimes looking on the internet, the information available, there'd just be so much and it'd be so broad, and sometimes there was a bit too much, and it would be quite nice to go back to basics and look in a textbook.
When you're in year 9, you know, homework is not what you want to be doing, so if there's a shortcut for it, you're going to take it.
Being able to research online had a big impact on my decision not to go to university.
Digital has pushed my career because it's helped me look for jobs on the go, so I can do it on my phone, and there's been more areas on the internet for me to find jobs in. I've got more access to learning, so I can learn more about digital and new ways to do creative. And I've also been able to go to interviews and find out how to dress, how to speak in interviews, and how to speak to clients.
I go on Instagram just to see like one photo. My friends like message me saying, "Oh, like my photo." So I go on it, and about half an hour later, I'm still looking on it. You know, like you click on somebody, and then you look through their photos, and then there's somebody in their photos, so you click. You get lost in it.
Some Twitter accounts will tweet about how they're not going to do any homework, and then it sort of makes you feel like, then why should I?
And then another thing is when your friend messages you, and you start messaging them, and then you're like, oh wait, no, I need to get work done. So you put your phone on the opposite side of the room, and it buzzes, and then it keeps constantly buzzing. So you're like, oh, shall I go to it? So then you pick it up, and then again you get distracted. But if you don't look at it, it feels like you're missing out. It feels like if you don't look at it, you want to be in the moment.
I spend more time online shopping than I used to because it's cheaper, it's more convenient, I don't have to deal with customers or people.
I don't mind waiting an extra night to get something the next day if it means I can just stay at home or do something more productive with my time rather than trekking all the way out to Westfields and Stratford and going to get items of clothing that might not even be in stock there.
When I have money, when I go buy something, I think of it in my head, I will buy it straight away. There won't be wait for a sale or wait for it a little bit cheaper. If I've thought of it, I want it, and that's what I want in the end of the day.